Did you figure out that Bruce Willis's character in The Sixth Sense was already dead the first time you watched it? How about Fight Club or Memento or Usual Suspects? Sometimes we don't get things the first time around. Thank God for second chances. And this is exactly what Stephen's speech is all about in Acts chapter 7. Acts 7, 1 through 19. Then the high priest asked Stephen, "Are these charges true?" To this he replied, "Brothers and fathers, listen to me. The God of glory appeared to our father Abraham while he was still in Mesopotamia, before he lived in Haran. Leave your country and your people, God said, and go to the land I will show you," from Genesis 12:1. So he left the land of the Chaldeans and settled in Haran. After the death of his father, God sent him to this land where you are now living. He gave him no inheritance there, not even enough ground to set his foot on. But God promised him that he and his descendants after him would possess the land, even though at that time Abraham had no child. God spoke to him in this way: "For 400 years your descendants will be strangers in a country not their own, and they will be enslaved and mistreated. But I'll punish the nation they serve as slaves," God said, "and afterward they will come out of that country and worship me in this place," from Genesis 15. Then he gave Abraham the covenant of circumcision, and Abraham became the father of Isaac and circumcised him 8 days after his birth. Later, Isaac became the father of Jacob. Jacob became the father of the 12 patriarchs, and because the patriarchs were jealous of Joseph, they sold him as a slave into Egypt. But God was with him and rescued him from all his troubles. He gave Joseph wisdom and enabled him to gain the goodwill of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. So Pharaoh made him ruler over Egypt and all his palace. Then a famine struck Egypt and Canaan, bringing great suffering, and our ancestors could not find food. When Jacob heard that there was grain in Egypt, he sent our forefathers on their first visit. On their second visit, Joseph told his brothers who he was, and Pharaoh learned about Joseph's family. And we'll have to end there because of time. There are 18 different Hebrew scriptures from the Old Testament referenced here, and Stephen is dropping some crazy OG knowledge on the Sanhedrin here. It all starts with God's promise to Abraham. So this freedom is promised, but it's delayed because the people don't get it the first time. Stephen preaches about Joseph first and then Moses, and the big setup is here in verse 12 and 13. Joseph's own family didn't recognize him the first time they visited Egypt, and then later again with Moses, they miss it on the first go-around. Of course, all this leads to Jesus. Most of the Jewish family didn't catch it the first time, so here Stephen is rewinding the tape to give them a second chance. If you haven't fully grasped the first coming of Jesus, this is your second chance. Make sure you don't miss it.